Okay, welcome to episode number 2 of learning how the heck to work this program with our favorite JPunks and their FBX files. In this episode, it's going to be a long one. I'm going to have to chop it up and fast forward certain bits because it does get a little bit tedious doing all the tiny little groundwork that goes into the movement that you generate with these sliders, and Peekaboo does a great job of being patient while I work my way through this. But basically it gives us a rig now that we can grab and animate. We can position, we can pose, and if we wanted to, maybe in a future episode, we might be able to go through how to use the animation timeline and actually bring some animation to him. But let's get into it. And this one you may want to skip to the end and just go, you know what? Maybe No Credits can just share me his rigged file and I can import it into my own project and I don't have to go through and make all this. Here we go. So what do I do, sir?
So first thing, you would probably want to create a new folder for the control rig in the content browser.
Yep, gotcha. So we can remove that. I remember now, it's just there.
Yeah.
Oops, no spaces.
Okay, just open it and press right click. Then go to animation. Control rig, right? And just press this and create. You can name it however you want. Okay, now you can open it. Oh, so you need to go to left menu, the tabs on the bottom left. I mean, middle left.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, press this one.
Rig
The first one.
hierarchy.
Yeah, you can actually drag this window up next to the not this one, the whole rig window.
Oh, right.
Next to the map window, so it's a bit bigger. You can close this one actually.
Right.
So you need to import the hierarchy and select the one we have.
That's this one.
Yeah. Press OK.
Thinking. Right, so that's pulled in all the bones and things.
Yeah, exactly. And now we can start creating the controls. So first off, you can zoom in on the character, and maybe don't select the bone, just and press F.
There.
Right? Okay. So first off, we need to create the controls for the middle parts of the skeleton.
Right.
So we can bend the spine, bend the neck, and that's pretty much it. So first you need to select the root bone in the hierarchy. We will create multiple controls at the same time.
Right.
So first off, we need root, then we need pelvis. Okay.
So I hold
Now,
down
yeah,
control
control.
command.
Yeah. Then spine 01. Each spine, you can select each spine. and then neck at the bottom somewhere. Yeah. And press right click. Then new. And add controls for selected. But before you click, hold Alt and now click. You get some options. Right now it's selected correctly. So you want output format to be hierarchy. But you can, if you click the drop down, you can see that maybe you don't want, when you don't want hierarchy, you can select list or child.
Okay, and what's the difference between the three of them?
Hierarchy will just create controls as they are in the bone hierarchy.
Right.
And list will create them as separate objects.
Right.
And you can just press OK now. Okay, so
It's created that, correct?
yeah, so you can drop it down, press the arrow. So there are controls for every bone you've selected.
Right.
You can, on the right, you have some options.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a bit different than mine because I'm using 5.0, but
Right.
Actually you want to drop down the shape properties. Okay, so you can select a shape that right now it's just a ball. You can select, maybe I'm using arrow 4.
So is that this red thing between his feet?
Yeah, that's just representing the bone, so you can
Okay.
move it more easily.
So arrow 4?
Yeah, this one, the thick one. And you can lock the scale.
That's that one there.
Right, and just increase the scale so you can see it a bit better.
Oh, I see.
I have it set at 12.
12. Rocky.
And you can rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis.
It's
This
the
one.
red one?
Yeah.
Plus 90?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you need to drag the root control out from the hierarchy and get control. And then do the same for the bone, the root bone. And select set bone.
Okay. Now,
And
just
now you
before you
can,
go any further, can I ask a question?
okay. Yeah.
We chose the root, the pelvis, no, the root, the spines, and the neck. Is that correct?
We chose the pelvis too.
Oh, we did as well. It's a root,
Yeah.
pelvis, spines, and neck. Now, is that because we're just choosing that central structure through the middle?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And so we're creating a control for that, and then we can create other controls for the other bones. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So I've got the root and the root bone.
Right. So now you want to connect the transform of the control to the orange pin in the bone transform.
Okay.
So
So,
the orange pin in the transform control transform.
oh, this one. Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
connect it to the orange one in the bone.
gotcha.
Right. And now you can connect the execute pins from the forward solve to the bone.
And that's there.
Yeah. And
So what
now
is this
if you,
doing? Obviously, it's kind of like a visual representation of connections. But what is it that we're doing?
it's, well, as it's getting the transform of the arrow control, the control we made for the
Yep.
root, and it's setting the actual bone in the character to its location, rotation,
Right.
everything,
So what we're
the whole
saying is
transform.
when we transform this, we want you to move that bone.
Right. So now if you move the control, the red arrows, you can actually move the whole
Oops.
character.
So do I select that somehow?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to do that.
You've selected something else, I think.
All right.
You can actually hide all of these lines,
Ah,
but
okay.
you can move it now.
So I'm just when again I'm using a trackpad, so it's kind of not really a mouse. When I click and move, I'm moving myself, right?
Yeah. So you can move with the arrows.
So that one there.
Yeah. So now you're moving the whole character.
Gotcha. I understand. Right. Now, when I move him out of that little circle, is that an issue? Or is that just
No,
translating?
you can just press compile and it will reset in
Ah,
the upper left or here. Yeah.
nice. Okay, how do I turn all these lines off?
You can go to character up
In the
there,
middle,
then go to bones
bones.
and select it only, or yeah,
So it's only.
select it only.
Okay, gotcha.
And it didn't, did it
Yeah.
remove? Okay.
I guess we select the bone down here then. Yeah. Right. Okay, gotcha. Awesome.
So now we connect everything like we did the root.
Sure.
So first you can change the shape of each control at the bottom for the pelvis and the spines and the neck.
Change the shape.
Right. So exactly how we did with the root control, we changed it to arrows.
Ah,
So you
right.
can
Yeah.
change it to like, I don't know, a circle or a box and scale it up so we can see it.
Okay. So this hierarchy that's here with the root, pelvis, thigh, calf, foot, ball, what is
Right.
that and how is that different to the other? Is that one leg here and the other leg there? Is that what that is?
These are just the bones that 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 the mesh has. It's the skeleton of the mesh.
Right.
So uh, I'm not sure I understand the question.
I was just trying to figure out what the hierarchy is and why, some of them have only a couple of children and some of them have lots. Like, is it just the way that that's built? So the spine,
Yes,
there's three spine bones, and off the third bone we have the clavicle, and then off that we have each arm. And
yeah, they were just made like that. They were parented to each bone as I guess the modeler or the animator seemed fit for
right.
this rig for this character.
And so that's what the JPunks team have done in the background. Will they have just done that once and then applied that across the whole collection because they're all basically the same character?
Do you mean the rig?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
You can
Okay.
just when you don't have anything selected, you can click on the preview scene next to the details in the right panel, and you can just on the preview mesh you can select different meshes when you will import them. So
Right.
right now you have just this one, but you can select other ones when you import them.
Right. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, so talk me through that process again so that I get it in my brain. The one of what do we do? Like we've done the root. What do we do next?
So next we can do the pelvis control at the bottom. So we've already created the controls for the central
Ah,
bones.
right. Right, right, right. So we created this one collection with these children, and we changed the root control to be this arrow. So now we're going to change the pelvis control.
Yeah, exactly. So right now you can see in the viewport, it's just a ball like the root was
The
before.
green one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now you can change the shape.
Okay. And what have you got?
I've set it up as a box tick, and just
12
the
again?
scale is 552.
552?
No, it's 5x, 5y, and 2z.
Okay, so 552.
Right, so you don't need to lock this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
gotcha.
And rotate it 90 degrees on the y.
Cool.
And I actually have location on -10
On the Y?
on the x.
X -10. Gotcha.
Okay. And now you can just connect it as you did with the root.
So we bring the pelvis into here, and we
Okay.
click on Get Control,
Yeah.
and then we find the pelvis bone, and we drop that, and we say Get Set Bone.
Set bone. Yeah.
And then we take the transform to the value, and this execute.
No, you need to just continue the from the
This one.
yeah.
Okay. So what is the best way to lay this out? Because this is going to get real messy real fast.
Right. So I have it. You actually have a node that is called sequence. You can right click anywhere on the right. So you can just type in sequence.
Okay.
And select this one. Yeah. And now you can add one. You can just connect forward solve to this sequence.
So that one to there.
Right. And now you have pins that can go to multiple multiple boxes.
Okay. And as far as visually with the get transform control and the set transform bone, do we put them above each other, next to each other, under each other?
Well, I have them in order, right, next to each other.
Like that sort of thing? Does it matter? So you
Actually,
just
I mean, it doesn't matter. You just
I'm just thinking
however
that
you want.
I'm naturally a messy person. So if I don't know, if you don't tell me how to do this, I'm just going to make this entire mess.
Or actually, this I have the transforms a bit below the boxes. So
Like there.
no, reverse. So transform is below the control transform is below the bones.
Ah, right. So that one down there. Do you have it directly below or just like down here?
Just like down here.
Okay. Sorry to, you know, to get all silly on you, but I'm like I know that I'm just gonna start getting real messy if I don't have
Right.
some way. Anyway, so how do we then connect the sequence box?
So I have it set up so each control, so I have it separated to the middle control, the arms and the feet and the fingers. So each pin represents that separation.
Ah, right.
So pin A would be middle controls, pin B would be arms, pin C would be feet, and so on.
And can you rename them?
I
Or,
don't,
or just have A,
I
B,
don't think,
C?
yeah, I don't think you can.
Okay, cool. All right. Goodness. Are you able to share your screen just of this layout so that I can get my head around before I
Yeah.
start about how big and convoluted this is going to be. All right. Okay.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see, I have the sequence here, and I drag it to the root bone and just continue to the pelvis, and I have it commented as the middle control. So this would end up
Okay, so each
looking
set
like that.
transform is in sequence, and it just the execute flows from one to the other, and then each one of those has a get transform that's connected to it.
Right.
Gotcha.
And here we have for the arms, for the IK, so it will, so you can move it around like that. You can control the position of the
Right.
elbow.
Yeah.
You can control the fingers. This is the pelvis, so you can easily just make him crouch. This is for the legs.
Ankle.
So the whole leg can move like that. This is basically what we will create.
Awesome.
Or do you want me to
No. I
this is
need
everything.
to do this. That's exactly what needs to happen. So I may not screen record the whole thing because people might get a bit bored. But it's good to get my head around exactly what I'm supposed to be looking for, and how that all works visually. Can you explain what an IK is? Because that's like an acronym that I don't know.
So it's inverse kinematics.
Okay.
So it's basically just doing this. It's chaining all the bones from this one control. If I can select it. So now these bones are chained up, and when I move this control, it changes the transform of the lower arm, of the upper arm, and it behaves like a chain, basically, like an arm normally would, I guess.
Yeah, gotcha.
This is just in short. I'm not really an animator, so I don't really know the proper definition of this, but this is what this is basically my definition of it.
Yeah, right. And so the point of the arm is that when you grab the wrist, for example, it's grabbing all of the finger bones as well as the forearm and the upper arm. And so that's the way you think of it when you build these rigs. When you build all of these linkages visually, you're looking at what is connected to that and what would then move that. Like, for example, if I move my shoulder, that moves my, part of my chest as well. So is there a way of, yeah, right. Okay. So when you grab that bone, it's linked. Clever.
Yeah.
All right. So potentially won't show all of it because this might take a while.
Right.
Yeah. And so this one here we drag into there now.
Yeah. And now you'll have the controls you created.
Ooh, look at that. And so this one at the bottom, that's his
root.
His actual movement. So
right. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. What's the easier? Is it just move yourself around in 3-dimensional space and get him until he's about right? Is that?
Well, yeah. There's nothing really you can do other than that.
Yeah. Okay. I will have a play with that and make him look interesting, and then maybe show you next time.
Okay, yeah,
and you can
sounds
critique
good.
me and tell me what I've done wrong.
You can easily animate him as well.
All
You
right.
have the
Well,
timeline on the bottom. You just add keyframes and change the position of the controls.
wow. So you could walk over and get on the bike.
Right, yeah. If you know how to animate the walk cycles and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably not. I would just hack at it with a baseball bat. All right, Peekaboo, thank you so much for your time. It's been a good couple of hours, so I appreciate that. And your patience as I work my way through building this complex thing.
No problem.
And we'll be in touch soon and see what we can do next. I mean, ultimately, I'd like to get a photograph of him looking his best. So maybe next time we can talk about, you know, he's in position. How do we set up a camera? How do we render it? How do we get a still shot that looks good?
Right.
And then you can talk me through, lighting and all that kind of stuff, maybe.
Okay.
Thanks,
Yeah, sounds
buddy.
good. No
Have a
problem.
great day.
Thanks.